Like you mentioned a few times the fear and anxiety, that it was kind of topic for you, and also this like fear not being loved. Was there any like really turning point for you in your process with Swami, when you can feel like, hey, this experience really helped me to overcome it, or maybe make me stronger in this?
I think one part that helped me is he was constantly confronting me with my fear, putting me in situations where the fear would come up. Like, for example, like I said, first moment I come permanently to India, he's putting me in the elephant group. Huge fear trigger, because there's lots of very dominant people in there. Then, for example, you know the story with the cobra and the Dwakamai. One big program, lots of people are there, and he's like, Tobias, I put you in the Dwakamai, naked, just you have one string with mice around it, and you have to meditate, you're not allowed to move, and I will throw a cobra inside, but first I will burn her tail. And I will throw it inside, and then on top of it, he said, I will put video camera so everybody can watch. Do you want to do it? Yes, Swami. Are you sure? Yes, Swami. So I wanted to be a good student. So I said yes, even though I didn't want to do it at all. So that would have been a moment where I could have said, oh, Swami, this totally triggers my fear. I really don't want to do it. But I lied. So at that time, I didn't even realize I have fear. I thought this is normal and I just have to push through it. And I guess for me, because my strategy was to, like I said, observe everything and then make a strategy, what is safe, how to act, how to talk, whom to approach, whom not to approach. Everything is strategized. I can only do a step if I know it's a safe step. And this was clearly a situation where I could not control. I think this was the first part of the fear, and the second part was like everybody watching me and failing in front of everybody, you know. And then I remember another situation, another program. We're in front of the mandir, and there are like 80 people, 100 people around him. And he's in this tough position. He's sitting on the stairs and he's like looking at us, and it's like, don't remember exact words, but something like, you know, about fear. And I know a few of you people have fear. If you have fear, you can forget it. You can go home. Spirituality is over. Who has fear? And you know the story. But anyhow, at that moment, I had already so many times he had pushed me to the limit that I finally accepted I have fear. And I'm like, shit, I have fear. And I was like, I was the only one raising my hand. And at that moment, from his tough, he was like, exactly. He got it. Then of course some other people started, me too, I also have fear. And then we had a meeting, I think it was mainly against elephants, I don't remember. Like it was around Christmas, so Christmas 2011, I guess. And he created this, you could really, I remember it, you could really see the sparks in the air. It was, the energy was so high, you had the feeling that there's sparks in the air. And he created this story. There's this guy, you come to a scene, there's this guy, okay, it's a little bad words, but I'm using them anyway. So this guy had raped this woman, and he cut off her breast, and he also molested the child or something. So really, really bad. Everybody can agree this is a bad person. So he really made it really strong. There's no question about this is a bad person. And you have a gun in your hand. Are you shooting this guy or not? And his way he's talking, this bastard, this disgusting. It's like, are you shooting him or not? It was clear which is the right answer. He's like putting you like the tablet, just easy, pick it, you know. And when he created these illusions, you really felt you're in it. It's really real, that situation. You really felt like that happened really, it's right in front of you and you have a gun in your hand. And then he's going one by one, what would you do? And he still is in his energy, how bad this person is, bastard. What are you doing? And then one by one, shooting that person, shooting that person, shooting that person. And I was listening inside and I could understand he's a really bad person and he probably deserves to die, I don't know, but who am I to do that? I had this like voice in me, is like, it's just my voice. It doesn't mean it's the right or the wrong, because he gave like, okay, this is the right, it was clearly, this is the right answer, this is the wrong answer. But in me, it was like, I don't know if it's the right answer, but who am I to kill that person? And then I said, I won't kill him. You know, who am I to kill him? I did so many things wrong. Who am I to judge him, to give that judgment to him? And then he wanted to go to the next person. I think he already asked the next person, but then I had the thought, what if that's my sister? And I knew I would immediately pull the trigger. No questions asked. And I said that. But if it's my sister, no question asked. Immediately, without second hesitating, I would kill that person. That was my truth inside. If it's good or not, you can judge me, but this was my truth inside, so I said it. And then he was continuing. He wasn't giving any feedback whether you gave the right answer or not, because he's kept the suspension for everybody else, so he kept going. And I think I remember, everybody's like shooting. But I remember me stepping out of that illusion. I saw all of a sudden that not being part of that, I was seeing it from the outside. How Swami is sitting there, he's doing all this hard work to create this, a stupid situation, right? And I realized at that moment, the only reason for that was to help us wake up. To help us step out of, to like stand to our, whatever it was, something he wanted to teach us, something he wanted to help us, to show us. There was the only person, and then I realized this whole time, all this hard work, it is all these stories and the highest process, and if you fail, and then you fail anyway, and then it's like all these things, all these stories, and they were like multi-purpose stories. Each story had like 100 storylines running, and all this was just for us to wake up. I realized that at that moment. So he was already few peoples down, and I had this realization, and I said, "Thank you, Swami." In the middle of this drama, "Thank you, Swami." And you could see how he's like, "What's happening?" He was like, "This, why?" He asked, "Why?" And I said, "For always working so hard for us and never giving up on us." And I had like tears in my eyes. And that was the last time I saw him in a group. I had one more single meeting with him, and that was the last time I saw him. And I don't know if he continued or if that meeting was over. I don't remember that, because somehow I stepped out of that story in that moment. Yeah.
Thank you.